leadership style, wherein in only small organization you can say where they will come up with this style. Okay. Whereas if you take into consideration your corporate companies, there they will not at all take into consideration the suggestions, the feedback, or the advices of their team members. Okay. Now, autocratic leadership. Autocratic is totally opposite of leadership. Yeah, sorry, is totally opposite of your democratic leadership. Here in autocratic, what happens? The leader makes all the decision on behalf of the team. Okay. Here the team members are not given any kind of a chance to just, I mean, prove yourself or to give your advice or your suggestion. The leader itself take his own decision, and whatever decision he takes, he will implement it all among the team members. Okay. Coming towards your, what do you say, transformational leader. Okay. Transformational leader is about how you are able to transform your business. Okay. In order to transform your business, what are the techniques that you will be following? What are the strategies that you will be following? That is about your transformational leadership. Now, next, coming towards your job-based techniques. Okay. What do you mean by job-based techniques? Job-based techniques are nothing but in our training methods, we have seen job rotation, right? We have seen about conferences, right? So job-based technique is nothing. Though you are on job, okay, what kind of motivation is being given to you people? Okay, that is something like, for example, a kind of a job rotation is being given in order to motivate you, or we are just providing a kind of a small mini projects that is given to an employee, or sometimes a kind of a motivation instead of coming to office to work from home. This is also a kind of a motivation wherein the employee gets happy and give it 100%. So there are some job-based techniques where the employee will be on job. Okay. Though he is on job, what are the techniques that you will be going up with? Okay. Next is about your MBO technique. What does MBO stands for? MBO basically stands for management by objectives. Okay. Now, what happens in this MBO? MBO is nothing but this is a kind of a personal management technique where all the managers as well as employees, all the employees, they work together. Okay. They set their record and they will try to monitor their goals for a specific period of time. This is something togetherly we are trying to work to attain your organizational goals. Okay. And these organizational goals and planning that flows from your top to bottom. Okay. And these are translated into personal goals for your organizational members. Okay. Now, for example, uh, what do you say? For example, a salesperson wants to attain a quarterly objective of 30%. Okay, so in what way he is going to attain this 30%? Based upon involvement, based upon the collaboration, based upon the coordination of all his team members. If there is a kind of a support that is being given to us by all our team members, then definitely we will be achieving our goal, right? So coordination, control, supervision from each and every authority, that is from top to down. If there is a kind of a coordination, then definitely we'll be achieving our organizational goal. So this is one of the MBO technique. Now, next is group-based technique. Group-based technique is nothing but making a kind of a group, a kind of a team. This is a team management approach where we try to set up, where we try to make a kind of group discussions. Why do we make group discussion? To maximize the quality of our work. Okay. If we together work in a team, it enhances our performance rather than working as an individual. If we work in a team, everybody ideas will be put together. Okay. It's a kind of a collaborative work, we can say, or collective work, we can say, to attain our goal. Okay. And the next is your sensitivity training. What do you mean by sensitivity training? Here in the sensitivity training, this is a kind of a psychological technique wherein the intensive group discussion is made, a kind of an interaction is made. Here we are just trying to take out the grievances where each and employee is facing. If you're facing any problem, okay. So what I'm doing, I'm just trying to motivate you people to come out You have to come out with your problem, what problem you are facing, and I'm just trying to solve it. Okay. So there might be some people who will be openly coming up, and there might be some people who will not at all come. Okay. So in such case, what will happen? It affects the performance of the organization if you people are not open up. If you are not opening up yourself, if you're not sharing the problem that you will be getting, then at that time it affects your organizational performance. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, next coming towards your compensation. Okay. Objectives of compensation. Before we move on to objectives, what do you mean by compensation? We have come across this term, right? What is compensation? Compensation is something where we are trying to give in terms of cash, right? So basically, it refers to, excuse me. So compensation, it refers to monetary payment, okay, that is given to an individual in exchange to the services whatever he has rendered. So in workplace, compensation is something what is earned by employees. Okay. So compensation includes your salary, your wages. In addition to your salary, if a kind of a bonus is being given, this is compensation. If a kind of an incentive is being given to an employee, this is a compensation. In apart from salary, if a commission is being given to an employee, again, it's a kind of a compensation. So when this bonus, incentive, commission is being given to you, you people will be more happy. Apart from your salary, if you are getting this, you will feel more happy, and ultimately it affects your organization performance, right? So this is what compensation is related to. Now, what are the objectives of compensation? First is to attract and retain qualified person. When we try to give compensation, what are we trying to do? We are trying to attract the employee. When we try to attract the employee, there will be no, what do you say, no intention in the mind of an employee that he wants to leave the organization. Ultimately, he will be retaining in the organization. So this is one of the strategy where you can attract and you can retain your personal, that is personal here refers to your employee. Okay. Next is to motivate the employees to higher level of performance. Yes, once compensation is being given, ultimately the performance increases, right? And also we can able to control the labor turnover. Okay. Next is to boost the morale of the employees. Once compensation is being given, ultimately you feel more happy. When you feel more happy, the morale of the, your, what do you say, intrinsic quality, whatever that we possess, automatically it gets increases. Or usse kya hota, you will be, there might be chances of reducing your grievances, right? So the last point is to reduce the chances of grievances and frictions over wage matters. So when a bonus or company or what do you say, your commission or your incentive is being given, then you will not have any kind of grievance within yourself with respect to the organization. You will be feeling more happy, and you'll be trying to give your 100% performance towards your work. So this is about your compensation. Now, next coming towards, let me share another screen. Can you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Distribution.
Yes. Now, next is your distribution. In this distribution, we are going to see about role and importance of distribution, classification of distribution channels, and your channel intermediaries. Okay. So then, yes. Now, what do you mean by distribution? What do you mean by the term distribution? Distribution is nothing but spreading the product, right? Spreading the product throughout the marketplace, wherein we have large number of people who will be buying it. Okay. So what does distribution involves? It involves like whenever we are trying to distribute the product, first you should have good transport system to carry your goods to different areas, right? So here in distribution, what happens whenever you are just trying to go on with delivery of goods, okay, then you should have a proper channel of distribution. So here in this distribution, it is basically employed by the producer to the seller. Okay, from the manufacturer, it is moving to the seller just to get their products to the markets and into the hands of the consumers. So distribution is nothing but this is a kind of a tool in marketing that is used to move the products from your manufacturer to the consumer. That is from production to consumption. Okay. So in simple words, this is how you can define the term distribution. Now, as per Philip Kotler, what do you mean by distribution? Distribution is nothing but it is a channel of distribution that involves a set of independent organization involved in the process of marketing a product or service available for use or consumption. Okay, so this is a kind of an activity wherein it is starting from manufacturer. Once you get a finished product in your hand, you will try to sell that product in the market to the consumers. And as per William J. Stanton, what he says, a channel of distribution for a product is the route taken by the title of the goods as they move from producer to the ultimate consumer or industrials. That is from the point of consumption, from the point of production to the point of consumption. That is starting from your origin till it reaches to your destination point. That refers to your distribution. Okay. Now, what are the objectives of distribution? First is to make convenience of consumer to get the product. Okay. Second is to make choice in selection of product, that is understanding the minds of the consumers. Third thing, to avoid or minimizing damages during transportation. There should be no damages. Once damages or once there is a kind of a, what do you say, delay in delivering the product, the customer will not at all accept it. Next thing is to provide effective promotional activities whenever you are distributing product. Okay, come up with some kind of promotional activity, like a kind of 1+1 offer along with this product will be getting this for free. If that is the case, the consumer will feel more happy. This is something where you are trying to attract and grab your customers. Next is to minimize environmental dangers. For example, whenever you're trying to deliver the product, suddenly rainfall occurs. Okay, see to that if it is raining, your product should not get damaged. So special kind of a packing or special kind of a protection has to be given to the product to avoid damages. Next, to motivate channel members. What do you mean by channel members? It's not like we are just directly buying from our manufacturers. There might be many channels in between, starting from your manufacturer till it reaches to us. Okay, that is, it is followed by your manufacturer, then it goes to your distributor, then it goes to your wholesaler, then your retailer, then ultimately to customer or consumer. So the mediators who are there in between from the point of your manufacturer till consumer, okay, these people are called as channel members. Okay, and also there must be proper coordination among each channel member. Okay, if there is a kind of miscommunication at that time, it will be a big problem to the seller as well as to the consumer. Okay. Now, next is what are the elements of distribution? Basically, you have got 4 elements of your distribution: physical distribution, marketing channel, institution, and flow. Okay. Coming towards the first. Physical distribution means what? The name itself says. This is nothing but it is the movement of goods. Okay. Goods, it could be products, it could be raw materials. Okay, from your warehouse or from your factories or from your distribution center to the customer. Okay. So basically, this physical distribution refers to the movement of finished good, that is from company to the end user. Okay. Basically, what happens in your e-commerce whenever you are going for online shopping, this physical distribution involves several e-commerce supply chain activities. First, whenever you are placing an order in Amazon, first it goes to your warehousing. From warehousing, they will check out that product. Then that is inventory control. Then they will, if that product is available, they will try to process the order. Then they will send it to retailing center. From retailing center, it will be moved back to your shipping center. Then it reaches to the consumer. Okay. So basically, this physical distribution involves the movement of your finished good from company to the end user. Next is your marketing channel. Okay. What do you mean by marketing channel? Just now we have discussed. Okay. It starts from your manufacturer till your consumer. Okay. If there is only, for example, if the business is going on in between manufacturer and consumer, then that is a one line distribution, we call it as. If the distribution is moving from producer to the wholesaler, we call it as two-line distribution. Similarly, from your wholesaler to retailer, okay, three-line distribution. From producer to your wholesaler to your retailer through your agent, and then when it reaches to consumer, this is a four-line distribution. Okay, so one-line distribution, two-line distribution. One-line distribution, only one party will be there, that is your producer. In two-line distribution, producer and wholesaler will be there. In three-line, producer, wholesaler, retailer. Okay, and in four-line, producer, wholesaler, retailer, and your intermediaries, or we call it as agents. Okay, so these are your marketing channels. Producer is nothing but the manufacturer. Okay, next is your institutions. What do you mean by institutions? Institutions are nothing but, for example, your retailing sector. Okay, sometimes your, your shopping centers, your franchising centers. These are some institutions where they are acting as an intermediary from the producer till it reaches to the consumer. Okay, that means in between, who plays an important role. For example, whenever we are going to any kind of a supermarket, okay, from supermarket, we are trying to purchase a product. But this supermarket, from where they are getting the product, ultimately from the manufacturer or from the producer, or they'll be getting from the distributor. So institutions are nothing but these are the people who are acting as an intermediary. Okay. And the last is the flow. Flow is nothing but what kind of a, what kind of a distribution that you are going to. Is it single line flow? Is it multiple line flow? Single line flow, directly from manufacturer, you are getting. Multiple, either 2, 3, or 4, or more than that. Okay. Now, next, coming towards managerial issues of distribution. Okay. What issues that you will be facing when you are distributing the product? First is selecting the channel member. Second, motivating the channel member. Third, compensating the channel member. Next, coordination and control of channel member. And the last is type of conflicts and competition. So coming towards the first, that is selecting the channel member. This is one business wherein we are trying to help a producer channel to produce their products to reach to the consumer. Okay. So these channel members, as I already told you, they will be called as intermediaries also. They will be called as agents or the middlemen. So what does this people will try to do? They try to work together to complete the various tasks just to get the product from your manufacturer through the sale. Okay. Through sale. So while a producer here is able to decide the market to sell the product directly to consumers, or else what they will be doing, they'll be using various channel members. That is your distributors, your wholesalers, they will be selling the product to distributors, wholesalers, or retailers. Then at last it reaches to your consumer. So the selling of products, it involves many tasks. That is how you are able to manage your price, how you are able to advertise the product to your customers, how you are able to transport your products. But ultimately, what are we trying to do at last? We are just trying to delegate the responsibilities. That is, we are just trying to distribute the responsibilities among various channel members. Okay. But what is our agenda? Just to promote the product, just to reach the product from your producer to the consumer. For that, how many channel members are involved? That we are taking into consideration. Next is motivating the channel members. How you are able to motivate your channel members? By giving a kind of incentive, and moral support has to be given to them. Okay. Every time you just have to appreciate them that you people are doing your work in a well mannered form. Okay, you are grabbing your customers, you are gaining your customers, you are trying to fulfill the organizational responsibilities. In this way, if you are trying to appreciate them, if you are trying to appraise them, okay, they'll be getting more motivated, and ultimately your performance increases. So here, in order to motivate your channel members, you have to offer incentives. You have to offer support to them. How you are able to offer incentives? Just give a kind of a discount. Okay. Just give a kind of a bonus or give a kind of a reward. Okay. For achieving their sales targets. Okay. Next is compensating channel members. Okay, compensating channel members, basically it happens between the manufacturer and the middleman. Okay, so in compensation, we are just trying to settle between these two parties. Okay, compensating in the sense, if a middle person, okay, if an agent is completing his responsibilities, is completing his sales target, then commissions are being given to them. Okay, so these commissions are being given to them in the form of compensation. That is, they are directly tied to the sales volume or whatever the revenue that is generated by your channel partners. Okay, so here a kind of a percentage is being calculated on whatever the value that they have sold or whatever the margin that they have kept. So these commissions are somewhat attractive for your channel sales because they are trying to create a strong alignment between your goals and your partner's goals. Okay. Now, next is coordination and control of channel members. There must be a proper coordination between whoever the people are involved, from your producer to your consumer. If there is no proper coordination, then at last you will be facing a problem as a producer. That means you will not come to know, at what stage your product is lying. Whenever customer is placing an order, ultimately you have to deliver it on time. Okay, if there is no proper communication in between you and your channel members, at last who is facing a problem? The producer and the consumer only. Whereas the people who are there in between, they'll be raising their hands. We don't know anything. This was a problem that was occurred because of which the delivery was taken place in a very late form. Okay, so here there must be a proper coordination and proper communication between your channel members. And also, apart from coordination, you should have control towards your channel members. Okay, so these are some of the objectives of your distribution. And also type of conflicts. If there is any conflict arising between any of the channel members, just try to overcome it. Okay, just try to solve it so that it does not come out in the market, and at last you will be not facing any problem. Now, next is classification of distribution. Okay. Now, coming towards your classification of distribution, what is the definition of it? Marketing channel is a path, or distribution channel is a path that is traced in the direct or indirect transfer of title to a product as it moves from producer to consumers or industrial users. If I'm not wrong, already we have seen this definition over here. Okay, instead of distribution channel, here it is marketing channel. Right? So again, I don't have to tell you in detail what do you mean by distribution channel. Okay, distribution channel is nothing but it's a chain of a business that starts from your producer till it goes to your consumer. Okay. Next, coming towards types of distribution channel. Okay, already this diagram is there in your textbook, that is in your material. So how many types of channels are there? First is with respect to consumer goods, industrial goods. In consumer good, you have direct channel and indirect channel. Again, in industrial good, you have direct channel, indirect channel. Coming towards consumer good, direct channel, you have your mail order system, manufacturer, retail outlet, and house to house. Whereas in indirect, you have these many. Okay, that is producer, agent, producer, wholesaler, retailer, producer, agent, retailer, ultimate, that is consumer, then producer, agent, retailer, that these are all the channel members. Okay, then coming towards your industrial good, direct channel, here you have got your producer, whereas again in indirect, who are your channel members? That means the intermediaries. So coming towards your direct channel, that is first one, that is mail order. What do you mean by mail order? Mail order is nothing but receiving the mails in bulk. Okay. Sometimes it may happen. Do you people have your email IDs?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So when you just open your mail, you might be receiving many newsletters or many promotional activities, many mails, right, with respect to a product. Have you ever observed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Where it is coming? And in that, you will be seeing n number of people who are receiving that particular email, right? Am I right? This is nothing but this is mail order system. Okay, this mail order business is something a kind of a merchandising method of merchandising, we call it as, where in which the seller will try to make an offer in the form of mass mailing in the sense bulk mailing. Okay, or with the help of a catalog, or with the help of an advertisement that is placed in newspapers or in magazines. Okay, so all these are related to your mail order system. Now, next is manufacturer retail outlet. Manufacturer retail outlet is, I think, where we are trying to sell our product to the retail people. Okay. So here, basically, this retail outlet is not suitable for the producers that deals with large number of customers. If at all, if you have small number of customers, then directly you'll be having a coordination from your manufacturer to your retail outlet. Next is house to house. House to house in the sense here you will be finding a very few markets. Okay, the sales representative, they will try to sell their products either by providing free samples, by giving a kind of a trade show, by going up with your, what do you say, road show. Okay, or door to door sampling. Okay, house to house is nothing but door to door. Okay, next is coming towards your indirect channel for your consumer goods. So here you have first is producer, agent, consumer. Okay, that means three parties are involved. First is your producer. From producer, it goes to your agent. From agent, it goes to your consumer. That means here the distribution channel is moving from your producer to the ultimate customer. And here the agent is acting as a intermediary. Okay, so this is something a pathway of several percent by which your finished product is getting transferred to the final consumer. So here, wholesaler is an agent who is who is acting as a distribution channel of the product. Okay. In the second the category, you have producer, wholesaler, retailer, consumer. Okay. Similar to that, you have next is your producer, retailer, then it moves on to your consumer. Okay. So I'm not going that much into detail of this particular diagram. I'll just move on to your selection of channels. Okay. These are some selection of a channels, or you call different types of channels. First is your market consideration. Second is your product consideration, middleman consideration, company consideration, and general consideration. Okay. First coming towards your market consideration. Okay. in your market consideration, what are you first going to find out? First, you are going to find out your potential customer. Potential customer is nothing but your prospective customer. Okay. So it is this potential customer can be an individual or it could be an organization which try to show interest in your product. Okay. But they are just showing the interest in purchasing a product, but yet purchase is not made. Okay. That means, in short, the potential consumer or the potential customer is yet to try or consume a particular product or services, but not yet purchase. They are just making up their mind. Okay. And also, in market consideration, you have geographic concentration. Okay. Geographic concentration that leads to a small number of regions, small number of areas wherein certain things are taken into consideration. What are those? This geographic, it takes into consideration the price of the product, the income of the people, the age group of the people is taken into consideration. How many people are employed in your society, unemployed in your society? What is the age group? All these things we are taking into consideration in your geographic concentration. Next, you have about product consideration. In product consideration, what are the things that you have to involve? First is unit value of the product. Second is perishability. Third, technical nature. And fourth is after sales service. Perishability is something this happens with your what do you say, perishable items or your agricultural products. For example, the products which comes out of milk. It could be your ghee, it could be your butter, your paneer, right? Can you keep these products in an open environment?
No.
You can't keep it. If you're keeping it, so what will happen? These products will not be of any use. Okay. So for such products, you have to maintain a kind of a refrigeration facilities. Okay. It's not like this refrigeration facility is required for all types of a product, basically for perishable products. In a similar way, if you are taking into consideration your agricultural products, could be your rice, your jawar, or what do you say, all your kind of seeds. Okay, your soil. So can you just keep these products in a refrigeration kind of a facility? Does it require refrigeration in order to store your rice? Does it require refrigeration?
No, ma'am.
Can you keep these products in a closed environment, in a closed room?
No, ma'am. It will.
These products has to be kept in an open environment, that the moisture-free environment should be there. Okay. If you are not maintaining that particular environment, what will happen? A kind of a rotten smell will appear from your agricultural products, and small kind of insects will start appearing. Right? So agricultural products, it has to be kept in an open environment, that a moisture-free environment. When I'm saying open environment, sometimes it may happen when you are keeping your rice bags in an open environment, suddenly rain occurs. Will you be saying, we have to keep it in open environment, because if I just bring it down to my closed environment, what will happen? It will give me rotten smell. But if you keep it in that open environment, what will happen? The product gets spoiled. So you have to give a kind of a protection to such products under such circumstances, right? The same thing. For example, your perfumes are there. Okay. Your scented products are there. Your deodorants are there. Okay. Can you keep your deodorants or your perfumes in an open environment? You can't keep it, because these things are flammable in nature, right? If you're just trying to keep it in a Can you keep your medicinal products under direct sun?
No, ma'am.
You can't keep it. You have to keep it in a kind of a temperature where it will be clearly mentioned on your sample, whether 20 degrees centigrade or 30 degrees centigrade. So this is how the product consideration, when we are taking into consideration, it has to be kept under certain conditions only. Okay, perishable products, your agricultural products, your medicinal products, your perfume scented products. Okay, they have to be kept under certain conditions. Next is your middleman consideration. Okay, middlemen are nothing but your agents. Okay, so here middlemen people, they play a very useful role in order to distribute a product. Okay, they are not only involved in distributing, but they are also involved in assembling of your product, in packaging your product, in storing your product. Sometimes it may happen like if any risk is being taken, so these people will take a kind of a risk in order to take that product in a very safer condition. Okay, next is your company consideration. Okay, what do you mean by company consideration? In company consideration, we are trying to consider how we are able to select a channel of distribution. Okay, that is how to select that channel of distribution. First, you have to check about the nature of the product. You have to check about the nature of the market, the nature of the middleman, and the size of the manufacturing unit, and whatever the governmental rules and regulations are there. Okay, all these things are taken into consideration in company environment. Next is your general considerations. Okay, general considerations are very simple. That is how well you are flexible with the product. Okay, who are your competitors? Okay, what are the social considerations that you have to adopt? And that is with respect to age, with respect to size, with respect to, what do you say, your complexion. Okay, it differs. Okay, so these are some general considerations. Now, next coming towards your distribution policies. Okay, you have got nearly 5 distribution policies. First is your intensive distribution, selective distribution, exclusive distribution, consignment, and the last is your franchising. Coming towards the first, that is intensive distribution. Okay, intensive distribution is nothing but this is also a kind of a marketing strategy where the company will try to sell its product from a small vendor. Okay, they start from a very small vendor to a big store. Okay, so here the customer will be able to find the product everywhere he goes. Okay, that means here the here the company, they try to focus on selling more of its product. Okay, that comes in the market in a larger extent. For example, this Apple products, right? So Apple products, they try to use this intensive strategy. That is, wherever you have got electronic showroom, they just try to promote their products in that particular showroom so that every customer gets aware of their product. Okay, coming towards for example, this Pepsi, Coca-Cola, right? These are the products wherein it does not require any marketing strategy. And wherever you try to keep this product, it gets sold on. Whether you are keeping in a small grocery, it gets tried to sold on. If you are keeping it in a kirana store, it gets sold off. If you are keeping in a supermarket, it gets sold. That means intensive distribution is nothing but the products which we are keeping in that particular market, it does not require any marketing strategy. By their name only, the consumers will try to purchase it. Okay, you don't require any marketing strategy, such as your Apple products, your Pepsi products, your Coca-Cola, right? Even the products which are there in Amazon. Does Amazon is doing any kind of a promotional activity to come up on his website? No, but still we feel convenient. Amazon is the best because by sitting at one place, we are getting the product. Are they coming up with any promotional activity? How we came
No,
to know
ma'am.
like Amazon is a website? From our friend circle, from our relative circle, from our family circle, right? So by sitting at one place, we are just able to get the product. It's not like we have to move. By moving it on, we'll be going up with transportation cost. Transportation cost is incurred. Our time will be getting spoiled, right? So in selecting a product. So by sitting at one place, we're just getting the product. So why not to go with Amazon.com, right? So these are some of the examples of your intensive distribution. Now, next coming towards your selective distribution. What do you mean by selective distribution? Selective distribution, it focuses on only certain type of a product. Okay. For example, your Sony TV. Okay. Sony TV can be purchased from number of outlets. Okay. But the same model are generally not sold at all the outlets. Sony TV has got different models, but the same model, if you are getting in one store, you will not get it in other store. Okay. So this is something selective distribution. Okay. So in selective distribution, we are just focusing on only selling certain type of products that to selected, selected channel members will be there. For example, your retailers, your resellers, or your wholesalers. So here distributors, they try to take this approach as a middle road between intensive and exclusive form. Okay. Next is your exclusive distribution. Okay. Exclusive distribution means what? Here the manufacturer will try to give it to a single retailer, to a single distributor by providing a kind of a right to sell the product. Okay. So what is the goal with this exclusive distribution? Here you have to follow the strategy that creates a sense of scarcity. In exclusive distribution, you'll be finding very less number of products. Okay. You know this Michael Kors brand, Michael Kors or Aldo brand. These are some high brand products. Have you heard about their names? Or Rolex watch?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So do you find this Rolex watch everywhere?
No.
No. I mean, for Rolex watch, you have a certain distributors. Wherein if you go to that distributor only, you'll be getting the watch. But when you enter into a supermarket, would you be finding your Rolex watch?
No, ma'am.
No, because Rolex has its own quality. It is known to the people who knows about the brand. Okay. You will not find it in everywhere in every region. Okay. So here what is happening? The Rolex company, they are appointing only exclusive distributor for so and so region. For example, for Hyderabad region, a Rolex distributor will be there wherein he'll be maintaining only Rolex watch. Are you getting? So this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
your exclusive distribution. In exclusive distribution, you will be getting very scarcity of product. That is very less number of products of high quality brand. Okay. Next is your consignment. Now, what do you mean by consignment? Consignment is nothing but this is a kind of a strategy wherein the goods are left with a third party to sell. Okay. For example, I'm just you know about this Dell app, for example. Okay, no problem. I'm just launching a new product in the market. That product name is ABC product. Okay. Now, since it is very new in the market, nobody will have the awareness of this product. So what I'm doing in this case, I'm just going to the market and I'm selecting a particular supplier and I'm explaining about my ABC product to that supplier and telling him to just keep my boxes in your store. Okay. Does a supplier will agree to me? He will not get agree so easily because it is a new product and it is not known to the customers also. So he will have a fear in that mind. If I take my product, if he takes my product, it will not at all move and the space will be going waste. Why not in that particular space, he will be keeping some other products, right? So what I'm doing here, I'm just doing a kind of an agreement and telling the supplier, whatever the product, like whatever the boxes that are moving, only for that boxes, you give me the percentage. The boxes which are not getting sold, you just return back to me. Okay. So this is nothing but this strategy, we call it as consignment basis strategy. Okay. That means the goods which are left with the third party. Okay. And the goods which are already sold. For the goods which are sold, we are giving a kind of a profit or a kind of a commission to that particular store manager. And the goods which are left, we are just trying to take it back. Either we will try to take it back or we will try to sell in the market with lowest price. Is that clear? This is your consignment. Next is your franchising. What do you mean by franchisors? You have come across this word, right? Franchising now is nothing but this is also a kind of a distribution strategy wherein we are just involving a franchisor. Franchisor is nothing but here they establishes the brand's trademark or the trade name of a well-known business. Okay, so when we are trying to take the name of that particular business which is going well in the market, in return to that, they will be paying us a kind of an initial fee in order to do the business. Okay, for example, you have this KFC. Okay, you have this McDonald's. Okay, so wherever you are finding the McDonald's, is it the original company? First of all, the McDonald's came up in US. Okay, so the people who are there here in Hyderabad, McDonald people, are they the US citizens? No, they are the franchisors who is trying to take the right from them in order to sell their products. Okay, and in return to that, we are paying a kind of a fee to them because under their name, we are trying to do the business. Ultimately, we have to give a kind of a incentive, a kind of a commission to them for the name that we are using under them. You have your McDonald's, you have your Subway, you have your KFC. These are all the franchisors. Sometimes you will come across your saloons also, Lakme Saloon. They are also the franchisors. Okay, who is using the name of the Lakme and then trying to promote their name as well as doing their business. Okay, so these are some of the distribution policies. Now, next coming towards levels of channel, 0 level channel, 1 level channel. Just now we have seen 0 level channel is nothing but wherein you will be having only producer and consumer. Okay, whereas in 1 level channel, you'll be having manufacturer, that is your producer, then your intermediary, then your consumer, right? Or producer, wholesaler, your consumer. In 2 level channel, producer, your agent or your distributor, your wholesaler, then your consumer. Okay. Then in 3 level channel, 3 parties will be there: producer, agent, wholesaler, retailer, consumer. Okay. These things are there in your material. You can find it very easily. Next is channel intermediaries. Who are the intermediaries? Just now we have seen. Actually, you have got 2 types of intermediaries: merchant middlemen and agent middlemen. In merchant middlemen, you'll be finding wholesalers and retailers, whereas in agent middlemen, you'll be finding brokers, commissions, and auctioneers. Okay, so these are the intermediary person. Now, next coming towards the last presentation of my class. Can you able to see my PPT?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, the last section of your subject is distribution system. Okay. In this, you have got about different types of wholesalers. You have retailers, different types of retailers. Then what do you mean by exclusive retailing? Then you have physical distribution, just now we have seen. Okay, then what are the objectives? What are the components? Then you have logistic and supply chain. Coming towards the type of wholesalers. The first is your full line wholesaler. What do you mean by full line wholesaler? Full line wholesaler or full line distributor. These are nothing but these are the people who try to carry wide range of products. Okay. And these products could be anything. Okay, it's not like they are only involved into food sector or they are involved into only frozen kind of a products. They are involved into dairy products. That means these are the people who try to carry on each and every type of a product. Those people are called your full line wholesaler. Next is your converter wholesaler. What do you mean by converter wholesaler? Converter wholesaler is the one where is trying to convert, that is whatever the shipment that you will be receiving from your distributor, from your manufacturer, he just try to sort that. First of all, he just try to open that particular shipment, sort as per customer basis, and then they will try to dispatch that particular box or that particular shipment to your consumer. That means he's just trying to bring out the box from your producer, trying to sort it and then dispatch it. That is your converter wholesaler. And the last is your drop shipper. Drop shipper wholesaler is the one he just try to get the product from the producer and directly he will just drop it to the consumer side. Okay, that is instead of buying inventory, he just go to a particular producer, buy all the finished product and then deliver it to the consumer. Whereas in converter wholesaler, we are just going single line. For example, I'm just coming up with a production of your air cooler. Okay, so instead of buying directly from your producer, what I'm doing first, I'm buying a kind of a container of air cooler. That is the body of air cooler. Then I'm buying its, what do you say, strips that are involved in it. Then I'm buying a kind of a motor, a kind of a pipe. Then I'm buying a kind of a knob. Okay, then what I'm doing at last, I'm just assembling all the products. Okay, I'm assembling all the products in order to come up with in order to come up with your air cooler. So this is something I'm just trying to convert it. That is rather than getting directly from your producer, I'm making it at my own place and then I'm trying to sell it to my consumer. Whereas in drop shipper, you're purchasing the complete product from your producer, purchasing from there and then selling it to your consumer. That is your drop shipper wholesaler. Is that clear? Now, next is your retailers. You have different types of retailer, small scale retailer and large scale retailer. Small scale are nothing but they come up with small stores. Okay, a kind of a what is a sole proprietorship. Okay. And a large scale retailers is nothing but the one that you will be finding in supermarket or in departmental store or in your shopping malls or in your cooperative stores. Okay. Those people are called as your large scale retailers. So I'm not going that much in detail since we are facing very shortage of time. Okay, coming towards your exclusive retailing, just now we have seen exclusive distribution. Okay, so in exclusive distribution, you have your exclusive retailing. That is how many, that is how you are able to promote your product, how you are able to distribute your product from producer to consumer. That is with the help of your dealers. Okay, that is your agents or your middlemen by keeping the product in a kind of a showroom or shopping shop. That is from one shop, bring it into the other shop. And franchising is nothing but taking some other branded name and then from their name, you're just trying to sell your product. That is your franchising. And these are some non-store retailing that is going up with direct selling. Direct selling in the sense just getting from the producer and then selling it to your consumer. Okay, basically direct selling goes on with new products. Next is your network marketing that is going up with your channel members. Next, going up with different suppliers that is vending machines. And the last is your consumer face. Consumer face goes on with your trade show or your road show. And physical distribution is nothing but moving the product in a physical way. That is flow of goods from the point of producer to the point of consumption. Okay. And in this, you will be involved in various channel members and various marketing strategies. And these are the objectives that you have to follow when you are distributing the product. That is consumer satisfaction is an important thing. Apart from consumer satisfaction, unless and until you satisfy your customer, okay, you will not achieve your goal. Apart from satisfy your customer, Profit maximization is also an important tool. Okay. Next is components of physical distribution, order processing, inventory management, material handling, and transportation. Order processing, nothing but processing your order. When do you process your order? If at all you have you have the product in your stock. If it is there in stock, then ultimately you will try to accept the order and you will try to process that particular order. Okay. Once again, let me take a screenshot. And the next is inventory management. What does inventory relates to? Inventory relates to your raw material, your work in progress stage, and your finished product. Okay. Next is material handling. How you are able to handle your material. When you are able to handle your material, you should not face any damages with respect to the product. If that is the case, then you are not a good logistic manager. Coming towards your transportation, transportation is required for the movement of good from your organization to your consumer side. So when you are selecting the transportation, two things are very important. That is speed and cost of the transportation. Higher the cost of the transportation, higher the speed it will be. Okay. Lower the cost, lower the speed it will be. Okay. And next is your logistic and supply chain. This is very simple. Okay. In this, you just have got functions of it, that is order processing, inventory control, warehousing. Warehousing, just now we have discussed, that is about your cold storage warehouse, your your distribution center. Then it involves your agricultural warehouse. Next is your material handling. Next is your logistical packaging. Packaging comes in two forms, that is primary packaging and secondary packaging. Primary packaging is the basic one. Secondary packaging comes along with special. For example, you are ordering some glass items from Amazon. So that will come under bubble kind of a packing. That you call it as secondary packaging. And information is nothing but point of control, a kind of a coordination from among various channel members. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So with this, we'll just wind up our class. And we have completed the subject of your sales and distribution. Okay. If anything is there, if any important is there, I'll just let you know in the group. Fine. So I'll just take your leave here. Wish you all the best for your exams and for your future prospects.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. No, Shweta, I have covered everything, ma'am. I mean, small topics I did not cover, but whatever the topics that were important, I have covered from your examination point of view. Important questions, I'll just try to forward in your group.